Hey everyone, Sean Murray here. This is the 2017 WWA World Series Rundown. This is the Nautique Wake Open. This is the wrap-up. And to move my left here, I've got Mr. Harley Clifford. We're going to check in with you here in a second. Brad Smela, let's talk about some of the results that we saw. Starting off with the women.
Yeah, well, again, we had some challenging conditions. The wind wasn't up earlier in the day, and then right around when the finals kicked off, the breeze really kicked off straight down the course, and you know, just making for some really challenging conditions. We saw some really impressive riding though, nonetheless, and taking out third spot with you know, her standout trick was the handle pass KGB. Erica Lang, you know, I know she was stoked to be out there on the podium. They're in second place with an extremely solid 2 passes. Tara Mikasic, she's the veteran out there. She's been doing this a long time, so you know, she was able to link together 2 solid passes, which was able to get her there in second spot. But then our winner, all the way from Italy, Giorgia Gregorio, absolutely crushed it. And as I mentioned yesterday as well, she just went so much bigger, noticeably bigger than all of the other girls out there. Not only that, she had the Whirlybird as well as the Moby Dick for 2 solid tech tricks. So I mean, it was just really impressive to see the girls throw down in those rough conditions.
Yeah, it definitely was more than a breeze today. It was quite gusty coming right down the lake. But Georgia really set herself apart. It was a bit of an upset for Zara, but she's young and she's hungry and she's going to come back pretty strong. So,
and I believe now the 2 of them are tied for the tour standings. And with that tie, the way they break the tie is the most recent event of the result there. So that puts Georgia in the top spot at the moment. She's going to be wearing that yellow bib.
All right, so she's earned the yellow bib. Zara's going to be hungry to take that back. So we'll see what happens at our next event. And moving over to the men, some really amazing riding. The guys definitely had to adjust. All that strategy of getting into the wind was definitely playing. You know, Harley, we're going to talk about your run in that.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we even talk about the results, Harley, when you were out there in the semi-finals, I saw you had you bobble a little bit on that double tantrum, managed to pull through, and then you had that fall on the back motor 5. So
yeah,
tell us about how you managed to pull that double out.
Yeah, I was in a tricky spot. You know, I came out first trick, double tantrum, I landed on my face, and I'm pretty sure I landed and fell like 4 times before I even pulled it off. Yeah, so I did that, and then I was like pretty bobbled after that. I came back in, did a toe 9, and then I fell on the back of my 5, but I was just fortunate enough I just could get up and rush 2 tricks, so I didn't really miss out on a trick. But yeah, when I fell on that back of my 5, I was like, whoa, I'm in a tricky spot right now. I don't know if I can make it through. So
that's the real benefit. Cool. The benefit of this 4-trick format is even if you do have a fall, you get back up, you can really, you know, work hard and squeeze in 3 more tricks and make up for that fall.
Depending on the site, site. But
I'm pretty sure when I did that Crow 5, the wake wasn't even close to formed yet. Yeah.
It was interesting when we got into the finals where you had Corey Tunison come out with his first trick was a 1080, and that thing's been unlocked for him. But then he had that fall, which he hasn't fallen on it in a long time.
Yeah.
But
when I think that just goes to show the pressure that was on in the finals. I mean, some of the earlier riders, we saw a few falls. Obviously with the likes of yourself, Harley, with Corey and Mike Dowdy later on in the heat. Yeah, in the final there, the earlier guys on, they really knew that they had to really throw down. They couldn't hold anything back, and you know, that just resulted in a few falls, possibly, you know, because of the conditions as well. But you know, when it came down to it, you know, with the results, we're starting in 3rd place. We had Noah Flegel. Again, he absolutely crushed it. He mixed things up a little bit. Didn't start off with that cab 9, went for the toe side 9, and then or switched toe side 9.
I think another thing, he's been doing 10s in practice a lot too, and I think he wanted that 10 first trick as well.
Yeah. It made that adjustment because the wind is.
Yeah, it's hard out there. It's tricky.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. But so Noah ended up there in 3rd spot, and then Mike Dowdy sitting in 2nd. You know, he had his double roll to Reba as well as his Indy double back roll, nose grab toe 9. You know, as you can expect from Mike, but then you know, he had a fall there as well. So
he gave me some breathing room.
A little bit of breathing room. We saw you come out, Harley, absolutely crushed it. 2 stand-up passes. You had a couple of 9s in there, some Moog 5s. You double straight out of the gate, and I think that's what came down to it when Corey Tunison went for the 10 at the very beginning of his run.
Yeah.
You'd put the pressure on 2 stand-up passes. He knew he had to go for absolutely everything. So.
Yeah, I was just fortunate enough that Mike had a crash before me, and I went out there and I knew Corey was after me. And I could have thrown down a harder run, maybe thrown a crow 7 or a double cab roll as well, and matched Mike, but I knew Mike had that crash, and all I had to do was stand up my run to get in front of him. And then, yeah, the pressure was on Corey after that, so I left it up to him, you know?
So you feel like you pulled like a trick or two just as far back from what you could do.
Yeah.
But from what you saw, you're like, okay, this I think is going to be enough.
Yeah, definitely. I had a
And it
different
worked
run in
out.
my head because I knew Mike was before me, and I thought he was going to go out there and like he had one bobble, you know, so it gave me some breathing room.
Yeah.
And yeah, the run in my head, I was going to do a crow 7 and a double cab roll and just like go all
When
out.
did you make that decision? Was it before you went off the dock, or is it in the middle of your run?
Before I went off the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a similar run to what I did in the first round quarterfinals.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was interested that when you put that pressure and Tunison went out, he's like 10 first trick. If I'm going to do it, I got to do it first trick.
Yeah.
And he had the fall. He got up and he did 2 tricks into the flats, which kind of limited the amount of tricks
that was
he could
a
do.
weird.
I was
And Corey's
surprised
like good at contests, and like he always like makes good decisions. But I was watching that as well, and I was like, you should have just. You nearly probably could have got 4 in if you just
if
went
you
quick.
wait to wait.
Yeah,
He went big on him, and I was like, he opted for 2.
And he's like so good at that 10, he nearly could have rushed the 10 and got it.
Yeah. So that was surprising, but in the end, you came out on top, and even in these conditions, you made it look like it really wasn't windy.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be more stoked. Like so happy.
And now, because of that win, that's got you right on the top of the standings. You're going to be back with that leader's yellow bib, and I know you're stoked for that. That puts Corey in second and Tony Iacone in third spot. So.
It's gonna be a tough season. It's gonna be like
This
ups
is
and downs
exciting.
all year.
This is awesome, because just to get the inside on how you guys are feeling, what you guys are thinking, and right down to when the decisions are made. So I appreciate your time, Brad. Love having you here, and make sure you guys tune in at the next event. That's going to be at the Campeonato Mundial de Wakeboard in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and I believe that's next week. So make sure you check in here at the WWA. Sean Murray signing out.